and welcome to Grandma's Easy Cooking. Today we are going to take a tri-tip and we're going to cook it in our Instapot. So we haven't ever done this before, so we're going to try it together. We have this tri-tip that has been in our refrigerator for about 4 days. My husband has just been working so hard that he hasn't had a chance to do it. Normally we do tri-tip on the grill, or actually in the smoker. So we are going to do it here today. The first thing you want to do is kind of take off some of this fat. Now, it says that it comes trimmed, but as you can see, there's still a lot of fat on here. So we are just going to take some of this off. I am just trying to peel it back so I don't get a whole lot of meat with it, but I do want to take some of this off. And as you can see, it comes off pretty easy. You don't have to get it all. Fat is definitely good for you, just not too much. What we're going to be using today is the Instapot. As a matter of fact, I should go ahead. You can see I'm going to go ahead and hit saute and start. Saute and start. I am going to go ahead and add some oil in here. You don't have to saute it if you don't want to. I feel that it gives it a little bit better taste on regular meats, so I'm going to try it on our tri-tip. To start with, we're going to use a rub. Now this is a rub that my husband usually does when he does it out on the smoker. We're just going to cheat and use his rub. I will go ahead and list the ingredients in it to make the rub. It's one that he keeps on hand and uses it a lot when he does things on the smoker. Tri-tip is actually my favorite. I'm gonna flip over the meat so I can get some off the other side. I didn't realize until a couple of years ago that tri-tip is not something that you have everywhere, at least in the grocery stores. If you have a butcher shop, you can always go and ask them for it. But here in Arizona, tri-tip is actually pretty common. We had gone to Texas once, and they're like, we can't even get it. But that's okay, Texas has amazing brisket. So at this point, we are going to be getting our hands dirty. This is, again, my husband's secret recipe, and I'm gonna list it for you so that you have it. So that I don't have to keep touching this, I have about half a cup here. I am gonna sprinkle it on this side. Okay, that scared me. Rub it, rub it all in. I want it in all of the crevices. If I had thought to do this sooner, it would have been really good if I would have let it marinate. But I just saw that it was in the fridge and decided, hey, let's go ahead and make some use out of that. Definitely don't want it to go bad. Here, now we're gonna have a lot of sizzling. This is a big piece of meat, but it's very flexible. So when I put it in, I'm just gonna kind of roll it like this and drop it on in. You can hear it. I'm gonna let it sizzle. Push down a little bit on it so that it all gets in there. I can see a few spots that could use a little more. Don't be shy with our seasoning. And now I'm gonna wash my hands, so I'll be right back. All right, so that has been on one side for about 3 minutes now. So I'm gonna go ahead and flip it over. It has a super nice color on it. And I'm just gonna let that sit here for a minute. Again, this part is totally optional. You do not have to saute it first. I just kind of like what it does to the meat. I feel it gives it a little bit more flavor. Now, when we use it on the pressure cook, we are going to add about 1.5 cups of water. I'm gonna pull the meat up. I'm sorry I didn't think to do an overhead camera, but you can see it's brown. It's definitely smoky. It already smells amazing. So, I'm gonna go ahead and leave it on saute. Go ahead and pour in my water. Get some of that yummy steam. Grab my lid. Now I'm going to hit cancel on my Instant Pot. Put it on here, turn it, lock it. I'm gonna make sure on the Instant Pot that the button is on to seal and not to steam. It's very important if you're pressure cooking. You want it to say seal. If you don't, your meat is not going to cook correctly. So we are going to set our Instant Pot on pressure cook. The last thing I cooked was 5 minutes, so that's why 5 comes up. We are actually going to use our up arrows. If I could see our up arrows. There we go. And I am gonna set this at 23 to 25 minutes. We're gonna split the difference. We'll go 24 minutes today. This meat is meant to be a little pink on the inside. So we're definitely gonna check it when we're done. Now that we've set our 24 minutes, we are going to hit start. And that's all there is to it. Now, a lot of people think that there's something wrong with their Instant Pot, and there's not. It will take time to pressurize. We did help speed things up a little bit, I believe, by doing the saute first. But you will see I have lights across here. Whoops, don't undo the lid. I have lights across here telling me that it's warming up, it's preparing. So I will be back in about 25 minutes, and then we will take our roast out. So I will see you then. We're back, and I actually just thought I should try to add some liquid smoke. That would taste amazing. So we are just going to stop our Instant Pot. So I'm gonna hit cancel. I'm still gonna go ahead and vent just to make sure there's no steam. There isn't any steam, so we are good to go. I'm going to lift the top off. And I am gonna go ahead and just pour a smidgen on each side. When I say a smidge, probably a teaspoon on each side. Put my lid back on. Go ahead and tell it to cook, and we're going to tell it to start again. As you see, again, I have my on. It's gonna cycle through and it will start going. I'm gonna put our liquid smoke away, and I'm hoping that this will give it the flavor as if we actually smoked it. So we're going to see. Hi everyone, welcome back. It has now been 24 minutes. As you can see, we are at 0. We are going to cancel. The very first thing that we want to do with our Instant Pot is to vent it. You do not want to take the lid off. Normally with other meats, you could leave it in the Instant Pot for a while. Ours, we want to make sure that it comes out pink. So I am just going to reach over here and hit the vent button. It always scares me. So we're going to give it a minute to vent. Then we're going to take it out. I went ahead and set a cutting board here. I have my knife and my fork. So as soon as our button goes down, our Instant Pot will be ready. It will be done venting, and we can take the lid off. Now, I like to serve this with vegetables. You can use the broth that's left over to make as a gravy. You can put it over potatoes, rice, noodles, anything that you want. We are just about done venting. And again, this is a really neat cut, the tri-tip. If you can't get it at your store, I would definitely recommend going to your local butcher and getting a cut and at least trying it. It's amazing. It's meant to eat a little pink. And our button has just gone down. Now be careful when removing the lid. Steam is still going to come off. So I am gonna reach from this way, let some of the juice go back in there. I am going to put my handle up here. It rests very nicely. So we are just going to lift our meat out. It smells amazing. It looks very juicy. Now we do like to set it here and let it set for just a few minutes. You can, again, make a nice little gravy out of this, or thicken it up, put it over some noodles. Normally, again, I would let this sit for at least 5 minutes. I just can't wait, and I'm gonna sneak a few pieces off. So we're gonna cut this at an angle, and it is so tender. And I'm gonna only cut a few pieces off. So before anyone gets home, we are just going to try this out. I'm gonna let the rest of it sit there so that it can marinate and the juices can flow throughout it. And we are just going to try a piece that's very hot. It is so good. I recommend that you all try this. And thank you so much. I hope I've helped out some today. You guys have a great day, and we'll see you on the next episode. Thank you.